How to make your imagination real. Let's talk about it. So this video is going to be about gate 41, which is in the root center. Gate 41 is the gate of imagination and creation. So not only is it about creation, not only is it about fantasy and imagination, it's also about pressure. So we're going to cover that in this video. If you would like the information in this video in an easy to use reference document, then click the link in my description to download my free gate reference guide that goes through all of the 64 gates of human design in case you want to have that information. Okay, so gate 41, gate of imagination and creation. If you have this gate defined in your human design chart, it means that you have a very vivid imagination. You have a very active imagination, and you are meant to use that imagination, that very active, brain that you have. You're meant to use it to bring those experiences to life, to create new experiences for yourself, for others, to create art, things like that. Now, the shadow manifestation of this gate is fantasy. And I know, on the external level, fantasy isn't a bad thing, right? The problem is that fantasies can be addictive, especially if you are using those fantasies as an escape from the world. When you are going into your head, you're going into your imagination, not to create something new, but to escape what you're currently dealing with, okay? You become overly involved in your imagination. You get stuck in your head. You get kind of stuck in the clouds, right? And this does a few things. Number one, it takes away your power. It makes you feel powerless because while you're up in the clouds, while you're up in your imagination, dreaming of all the way things could be, you're not actually empowering yourself to make those dreams a reality. You're only allowing yourself to live in that reality in your head, which is pretty much cutting yourself off from the gift, which we're going to get into in a minute. It also makes it difficult for you to actually take action on those things because you get so caught up in your fantasies, because you get so caught up in your imagination, you no longer feel the need to take action to make these things possible in your physical reality because you're so content with just living in your head. Both of these are shadow manifestations of this gate. Now, the gift of this gate and what you want to do to decondition yourself from the shadow manifestation is anticipation. It's anticipation of your fantasies becoming reality. It's not just, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to daydream and I'm going to think about these things, but I'm not actually going to let myself to have them, right? I'm just going to sit here and escape from my reality for a minute and that'll be it. No. Anticipation is, I'm doing this for a purpose. My fantasizing, my imagining is not an escape. It is a precursor to my physical experience. I am using this time, I'm using this fantasy, I'm using this imagination so that I can get clear on what do I want my physical experience to look like? What am I going to be creating next? What is coming next for me in my physical reality? I want to see it first in my head. That is the gift of this gate. It's getting to see, prior to it happening in your world physically, what you are now going to create, what has now become possible for you to create. What is this next thing that you get to bring in to the world? That's the gift of this gate. That is anticipation. It's not, I'm anticipating, spending some time in my imagination because my current reality sucks and I don't want to be here. No. It's my current reality is not where I desire it to be. I'm going to go into my imagination so I can see exactly what I'm going to create next. That is anticipation. Okay, so the city of this gate, the highest frequency of this gate is emanation. Emanation is when something is coming from a specific source, right? It's being pushed out. That's what's happening here. When you are truly in the highest frequency of this gate, you just know what the next steps are. You know what the next thing is for you to do in order to bring that fantasy, bring whatever is in your imagination into the physical. So what you want to do is ground yourself in the physical reality, ground yourself into your body on this plane, on this planet. After you've taken your time to imagine, after you've taken your time to fantasize, come back, ground yourself here, and take small steps toward whatever that reality was that you were just envisioning. What is the next right step? Because that is the true power of this gate, is to channel this guidance, to channel the next steps to bring that thing that you see in your head into your physical reality. This gift offers you the pressure to make that happen. It also gifts you with the information you need to do it. It doesn't just show you these things like, oh, like dangling a carrot in front of your face, like, oh, you gotta be quicker than that. No, it's literally like, hey, this is trying to come through you. This is the way. This is a way, right? Because there's multiple ways to skin a cat. This is one way that you could do it. You get to take that information, you get to take that guidance, and you get to take those steps, take those baby steps. But it's important for you to be grounded in the physical plane in order to do this. You can't be stuck up in your head all day just envisioning and dreaming about it. You have to come back down and really put those things into action, put those things into place. And that's what this gate is asking you to do. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, if you want all of the information on the 64 Gates of Human Design, go ahead and click the link in my description box, and I will see you in the next video.